Danny Barlow comes through for us on this past weekend's UFC event as the lock of the night play. I was able to lock him in at minus 275. He closed closer to minus 350. And even though the official result is listed as a split decision, I thought it was pretty clear that the first two rounds were in Danny Barlow's favor. I thought it'd look a little bit more dominant. I thought it would end up with a knockout, but regardless, Barlow goes out there and gets the win and adds another lock of the night dub to the board. Now that brings our lock of the night record on the year to 58-28 for a plus 15.35 unit profit and a 3% ROI. Again, we've finally broken through to the profit over the last couple of weeks. Now it's about staying there and continuing to grow on top of that and continue to increase that ROI. This week, we got another 3 lock of the night candidates for this UFC card, but we also have PFL going down on Friday as well as ACA, which I'll have lock of the night plays for as well. If you're waiting for the PFL breakdown, that will be out later today, aka Wednesday evening, so stay tuned for that. But I'll also have my top 3 dog of the night candidate video dropping later today as well. All right. Without further ado, let's get right into the top 3 lock of the night candidates for UFC 305. The first of which is going to be in the first fight of the night between Stuart Nickel, who comes in at minus 230. He's going up against Jesus Aguilar. Now, Aguilar is on the bottom side of the 125-pound division. The guy is a tank of a man with wide-winging hooks and a nasty guillotine. But I think Stuart Nickel brings in the same type of advantages that we've seen Steve Erceg be able to implement throughout his game. Both guys are BJJ black belts and have very much improved their striking game, and that allows their grappling game to flow so effortlessly behind it. And that's exactly what I've seen from Nickel and his 8-0 run on the regional scene, which saw him actually picked up a few regional titles as well. I think his speed and his overall game is going to be too much here for Aguilar. And Aguilar does have that nuclear option, as we saw him put out Shannon Ross in 17 seconds a few fights back. Also, like I said, nasty guillotine choke, but I'd be very surprised if he catches a black belt like Stuart Nickel in one of those. And I think we'll see Nickel pretty much control the entirety of this matchup with his striking, with his grappling, and I think he'll eventually be able to open up a club and sub opportunity for himself. But more importantly, cash as a lock of the night candidate. The second lock of the night candidate is going to be Jairzinho Rozenstruik, who comes in at minus 220, was minus 175 a couple days ago. A lot of action coming in on him here as he takes on Tai Tuivasa, but this one's pretty easy to break down. Both guys, strikers. Rozenstruik, far superior technical striker, and we've seen Tuivasa obviously on a career worst run right now, 4-fight losing streak, and it seems like his intentions and his focus is not really on his in-cage performances nowadays. It's more so about growing the businesses that he has outside of the sport. Credit to him. He's trying to create a safety net for himself once he decides to hang up the gloves. But if you are not fully invested in this MMA game, it will pass you by. And that's exactly what we're seeing with him right now. And I think even though he does have the nuclear option as well, Rozenstruik should do a good enough job in terms of staying safe, jab Tuivasa's face off, and then eventually find a knockout here. So give me Rozenstruik as the second lock of the night candidate. The third and final lock of the night candidate is going to be in the co-main event with Steve Erceg, who I talked about a little bit earlier when I was talking about Stuart Nickel. But I think that we're going to see a lot of good work from Erceg here, who was 1 round away from being flyweight champion against Alexander Pantoja back in May. But this guy has all the chops. In the past, I've kind of criticized him for having a lack of legitimate competition experience on his record. But we saw through his UFC career so far, he's been more than willing to rise to the occasion and surprise and exceed expectations for a lot of people. And I think that we're going to see that happen once again here as he takes on Kai Kara-France. I think we'll see Erceg utilize his straight strikes down the pipe. Obviously, Kara-France, solid striker, but a lot of his shots kind of winging-ish and wild, not wild, but more so winging shots. So we know that the Erceg strikes that are way more precise, straight down the pipe, will land first. And even though Kara-France has a bit of, I think it's only a 1-inch reach advantage, I don't think it's going to be that much of a difference here. And I wouldn't even be surprised to see Erceg try to mix in some of his grappling. Obviously, Kara-France has improved his defensive grappling, but considering the striking acumen that Erceg brings to the table as well, I think he can do a good enough job in terms of mixing the martial arts and catching Kara-France off guard here. But I think at minus 155, minus 160, this is a damn good spot to take a shot on a guy that could potentially be the future flyweight champion. So give me Steve Erceg as the third lock of the night candidate. Which one of these three am I going to go with as my official lock of the night play? I've already posted on the MMA LOTN Patreon page, so if you want to find out yourself as well, check the link in the description below or drop a comment below and let me know which one you think I went with. And also, let me know which one you believe should be the lock of the night. It doesn't even have to be any of these three candidates. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. All right, I'll see you guys later today for my top 3 dog of the night candidates. See you then.